Alright, so I am running through Maelstrom Arena. This is better in Maelstrom Arena. I figured I would just, do a walkthrough. Maybe point out some of the things that you can do, and I will, I'll show off my build at the end of the run. I'm trying to get a fire staff right now, because right now I have a lightning staff on this character. And I used to run Maelstrom all the time. But I used to run Maelstrom all the time, but I took a little bit of a break from the game, and then they came out with perfected weapons. So I need to get the perfected fire staff now. I lost that proc somehow. Not sure how I lost that proc. I'm not necessarily going for score here, but this will probably get posted to my YouTube if it does. Oh man. So normally, I wasn't paying attention, but normally you want to be over here before he spawns so you can get all your buffs, get your ult out, and throw a dot on him and hit him with a heavy attack. And you can basically kill this guy before he even teleports the first time. But because I was late getting over here, I wasn't able to do that. So just make sure you keep reapplying your ground dots, as well as your regular dot as well. So, and then you can memorize the portals to save some time. So if you memorize where the portals are, you can just run to where the portal's going to be before it spawns, and you will save time on your runs that way. So I believe there's only 4 rounds on this stage. I used to sit on that area, which is why I was sitting there right then. But I actually have decided to sit on the north portal instead, because that way you get a clear vision of all of the spawns and you don't have to worry about maneuvering around this middle piece. You also want to try to be keeping your buffs up all the time. I'm pretty bad at it. It's something I'm working on. Also, it looks like the add-on I'm using is kind of glitched out with these different spawn timers, which is not good. So like in between rounds, it looks like my buffs fall off, which is actually, I guess it's a good thing because I should be rebuffing in between rounds anyway, right? This is mainly going to be a mechanics run through video. If you've never done Maelstrom Arena before, this could be good. So basically what I'm doing here is I am just sitting in this spot because it allows me to hit all of the spawns without moving. And this is also going to be where the boss spawns after the first, after the 4th round, or 3rd round? I think this is actually the last round. I think this is the final boss. So you want to buff up, get everything up. Yeah. And then you want to lay your ground dots, get your potion, hit your ult. Throw your dot on him as well, and then hit it. I don't think I'm going to kill him here because I kind of messed up. Oh, I did. But that's how you one-shot that boss. You basically line everything up. You want to make sure you're far enough away so that he does that ranged animation, this ranged animation that's happening right now. And you will, more often than not, you'll be able to one-shot the boss. Because I pushed that guy below 50%, so every 25% they'll drop down like this. So if you're able to push one of the bosses down further, you'll end up saving time. And if you can get them stuck in an animation like this, you're going to save some time for yourself as well. I didn't have any mana there because I'm not maintaining my buffs, so that's kind of what just happened there. But now he's going into this animation, so I can just kill him, which will mean I'll have a slightly faster click. I definitely could have done this better, but again, I'm just getting back to the game after a little while. Occasionally, because I don't have any repair kits right now on this character, I am going to stop at one of those NPCs and repair. So with this fight, the water will get electrocuted every now and again. So you're going to want to make sure that you're staying on an island, because otherwise you're going to be taking additional unnecessary damage. Another thing that I am not very good at in those first couple stages is using my ultimate more often to clear the enemies faster. So that is something you can do. It will save you quite a bit of time. The other thing you need to be aware of is that you need to kill these stranglers. They spawn behind every island and in the middle. So you just gotta be aware of where they spawn, because they will put a slow on you, and if there's multiple of them, they will stack. So the slow will just keep getting worse. It's not terrible for you to go in the water. I would recommend, just like if you're on a Magicka character, shielding up if you're gonna do that. Or if you are on a stamina character, probably just like dodge rolling through it. But you saw right there that I just walked through it with like no problem. So this is another mini boss. You want to look out for that heavy attack. And then I typically just drop my ult on all the minis, just to burn them down fast. On this round, I'm actually going to... I'm having some issues here. That was really close because I wasn't... So that's the thing there, where you really need to manage your mana, or your Magicka rather. Otherwise, you're going to run into Magicka issues like I just did there, and almost die in a situation where you didn't really need to. So I'm not going to use my ultimate here, simply because the last time I ran through this, I was able to burn the boss pretty easily. So I'm just not going to do that this time. I'm going to throw that on that to get some more Magicka back. And now I'm just going to make sure all my resources are up for the final boss. Which the final boss is going to come out of this gate right over here, I believe. Yes. So this gate is where the final boss comes out of. I'm going to hit my potions, get all my buffs up, throw this dot on them. So I want to burn them to about 80% or 70%, and then I'm going to drop my ult. I'm going to fire my bow at them. I'm going to reapply my dot. And she's gonna die. Easy. And then the portal's gonna appear over here. So I'm just gonna start running straight over there and hit E to use it. So if I wanted to make that a little faster, I could have brought her over to the other island so that it was a closer transition in the portal. So I could do that in a future run to save some time. So the thing in this swimmer round that you really got to be aware of is there will be dwarven spheres that spawn that you've got to kill. Otherwise they get a shield and then they start sending out additional damage that you have to deal with. And it's kind of a pain. So you kind of want to be looking around the map the whole time. I don't believe they spawn on the first... Oh yeah, they do. So this is a good example. So you see up top how I have that shield. It will just randomly spawn, and then they'll turn around and do this. If you happen to see one while they're doing that, you can still kill them. It takes a second for their shield to get up. So I believe there's going to be a spawn right here. Nope, I lied. I was actually right where I needed to be. I'm trying to relearn all of the spawns. So there's a Dwarven Sphere, but I am actually just going to keep focusing this because I can take a second to kill that. It doesn't have to be immediate. So that's the additional damage I was talking about. That lightning it just threw out. So I hadn't seen one, so I got to set up a shield. And once it sets up the shield, it will go out and do some additional lightning damage. So I will always kill these healers first. Sometimes I'll throw that ability on them, my dot, just because when a enemy dies with that ability on, you'll probably see my mana or my Magicka jump up quite a bit, and that's because I get mana. I keep saying mana. I get Magicka back when they die with that ability on them. I also get health back. So I'm also trying to weave in autos, like light attacks, every time. I'm kind of doing medium attacks right there. That's an old habit. But you want to weave in light attacks in between each ability, unless you're at the start of a round. So again, during this entire stage, I could have ulted on some of the earlier rounds, because that would have... so he spawned on the east. I couldn't see where the east was before this round started, but I'm going to drop my ult actually in front of him so that he has to walk through it. And then I'm going to hit my Spectral Bow. And I'm out of Magicka, so I'm going to heavy attack a couple times before he gets stopped. And so I'm going to hit him with my other ult, just to deal some more damage. Hit him with Spectral Blow again, execute him, and he's dead. The biggest thing about Maelstrom is just learning the different mechanics. I'm actually going to look at repairs real fast, just to make sure I don't need huge repairs. And to make sure that my light armor bonus doesn't fall off. So at the beginning of this stage, you can drop your dots right here, because there's going to be 2 spawns. And then after you kill these, there are going to be some enemies that spawn over here. I typically just wait for them to spawn, and then I wait for them to get over here. So that troll will destroy a platform, and then if you let it destroy the platform, it will spawn an additional enemy that you have to kill, as well as you won't have that platform. So similar to the that round where you had all the islands, the water here freezes you, and if you stay in it too long, it will kill you. So you don't want to stay in that at all. So most of your spawns are actually going to be on this island in the beginning. So you can just basically stay on this island. You want to make sure you block that ogre's heavy attack. Otherwise it will one-shot you as well. If you're a ranged, or if you're a stamina champion, and you're using a bow in here, when those trolls come out, I would just drop endless hail. So I came over here because I knew this mini boss kind of is ranged and will just stay there. But then I'm going to immediately come back over here because I know that the next round is going to spawn right here. So I'm just constantly trying to remember where enemies are going to spawn, what's the easiest way to kill them, and that kind of thing. And you always want to be looking for that troll. They will always spawn in the middle of the map, so you'll always have a portal that spawns right there in the middle. I actually usually, I'm going to drop it right here, I usually drop an ultimate right on top of these guys just to burn them a bit faster, because I have the entire next round to build up ultimate again. So I actually shouldn't have done that, because I normally drop an ult here. I let both of these giants and the other mobs come over here so that I can group them together typically and then burn them pretty fast. That's normally what I do. Like, I'll burn them with a AoE ult. Oh, I'm missing that troll. He's probably gonna get it. So this is the additional enemy that I was talking about. If you do happen to miss him at one point, it's not a huge deal, because the platform will come back once the next round starts. So if you do miss it, it's not like a end all. I'm actually going to use my ult here, because I don't use my ults early on the final boss, just because of the mechanics. So I typically will sit on this island for the final boss as well. If you want to, you can take each relic as you go. The boss will destroy the platform, will destroy this platform at 70%, will destroy the next platform at 45%, and then you have the last platform to finish the boss off before she kills you. She'll also spawn adds at 90%, I think it's 60% and 30% respectively. So you'll know when she's about to destroy a platform, because she will, I think it's actually 75, yeah. She'll jump on the platform and she'll glow red. And then, so what I like to do with the adds that spawn is I like to try to get mana back off of them. And just try to get my resources back up. So, like I said, at 60%, adds are going to spawn over here. And then once you drop her down to 40%, which I'm going to do pretty fast here. Oh no. I accidentally hit the wrong ability there. I'm actually going to burn her. I probably should have waited before doing that, because actually I'm fine. I think I'm fine. And something that I don't understand, I think it's a glitch, this wolf won't despawn until you've killed everything else. So that's unfortunate, I guess. Normally everything despawns when you kill the boss. On every other round, if you kill the boss, you just finish the round. So I don't know what makes that one different, but maybe it's because it's like a summon of the mage. So I typically will, I know that there's a lot of people who have different tactics for those mages. I typically just run right up to them, which sometimes forces them to run away from you. It doesn't always happen. Depends on how close you are to them. So you want to dodge roll the Flesh Agro's heavy attack, otherwise it's going to slow you. and you could have some trouble with that. So if you use all of these, I want to say, oh man, I messed that up. If you use all of, I forget what they're called, like scuttle somethings, or horvers, that's what they're called, horvers. I'm like mixing up League of Legends with this game. So if you get all the, if you use the horvers to unweb all of the totems, you actually stun everything in that arena. So that's going to be really important. It's kind of important for the final boss. It's not 100% necessary. I was able to burn the boss in a previous attempt without actually activating the totems. This is what it looks like, just for your own reference. So everything glows yellow, and it stuns whatever's on the screen, including the things that small. So it's kind of nice. So if you kill a Horver as well that's not near one of the totems, you can use the synergy button, whatever you have it bound to throw it. Just be careful around the sigils. If it's around the sigil, I would honestly just pass up on that one. If you're going for score anyway, because they just updated the game to where it will prioritize the sigils over prioritizing whatever you're trying to synergize with, which I personally don't like because I don't typically use them, and it reduces your score by 250 for each sigil that you use, which isn't a huge amount, but it can, you know, make or break your score in terms of if you're trying to be like competitive on the leaderboard or something like that. I mean, you can look at the top of the leaderboard, and it's sometimes hundreds of points that are separating people. I'm just gonna get some Magicka off that guy. This is the final round. It starts with a lurker and it ends with a lurker, so it ends with two lurkers actually. It's the final round before the boss, I should say. I'm actually just gonna use that. Because I really don't think I need the sigil or the final boss. There actually might be another round after this. I think there is. I think I lied. I think there's 5. Oh no, this is the final round. Okay. So this is Boss Lady. She's a giant spider. I'm gonna save this because I can actually use it to reset her damage debuff rather than hitting the whole sigil. I can just use that one thing. So you can bash that if you want to. Kill her head. So, ooh. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have died there. That's unfortunate. I think the web spinner was, I should have paid more attention to the web spinner because they were wrapping the totem that I would have been using to clear all those ads out. So those spiders, you need to go to whatever totem is lit up. I probably should have actually just used the guy there to... I should have used the Orber to unwrap an additional one before that round started. So just paying attention to where the Horvers are and what the spiders are doing. So you can see I have a damage debuff on her right now, right? Now it's gone. Actually, I don't think it was gone, but you don't necessarily need to clear all the totems to get rid of that damage debuff. If you do enough damage, you can just go through it. You can just deal your damage through it, and you should be alright. So this is everyone's favorite stage, and it's because of these things. It's basically an RNG game. They can pop up anywhere. If you get hit by one, you have to go to either one of those pools. On a Magicka character, it's a little easier to manage because you have a shield. However, on a stamina character, if you hit one of those, you're basically dead. There's just no really coming back from it, unfortunately. So they're over here. Oh yeah, and then these mages will spawn that will explode them. So you have to focus those mages. Otherwise, you are going to risk running into the AoE of the mushrooms. Because the mushrooms won't activate otherwise unless you're like very close to them. But those mages kind of create a different factor into this round. That you have to deal with. They're good for getting resources back, I feel like. Like, I will throw on my dot onto them. I just got hit by poison, so you see how my health is going down. If you run into this, it'll clear it. However, if an ad runs into it, they'll get like that shield that you saw on that, which makes them immune to damage. So. Ideally, also, you want to catch the trolls in an animation, because then they won't grow to their bigger size and you can kill them in that animation. So it's just kind of, the biggest thing about Maelstrom, I think, is just, you know, being aware of your surroundings and what you're doing. Aware of your surroundings and what spawns are coming out. I am going to ult this guy. Did I get hit by that? I didn't. I got very lucky there and I didn't get hit by the mushroom that was on the ground. So the other thing too is if you get hit by the acid spray there by the archers, you get applied that poison as well. So you don't want to be hit by that. You basically want to focus the archers just because they are harder to kill. This is 3 archers, so I typically go for the furthest one away so that the other 2 have to sort of chase the other one. And then the other thing you have to be aware of is this one-shot mechanic where the archers will raise their arms like that. And you have to be aware of that because if you let them finish that attack without dodging it, then it's a one-shot. You will die. I'm gonna heavy attack this guy just to get some resources back. So I'm almost full mana now. So the final boss will always spawn over here. So the final boss, if you're ranged, you can sort of stay away, lay your ground dots. I'm actually going to put my buffs on real fast. You have to be careful of those. Those can one-shot you. Accidentally just hit that twice. And then he will spawn these 2 ads. What you want to do is you want to kill one of the ads, and then he will start this roar mechanic, which will kill that ad. And then you can deal... And it might kill you if that happens, because I just got hit by poison. I'm pretty sure I got hit by poison, yeah. So I just got hit by poison, so it wasn't ideal. Like, I could have done a lot more damage there, but because I was hit by the poison, it kind of messed everything up. So I may have to do another round of that. I just got hit by poison again. So you really don't want to get hit by poison because you have only like 2 of those things. I'm gonna try to just burst him. I'm dead. That's what I mean. So you can't get hit by the poison more than one or more than twice in one round because, I mean, you can. They will eventually come back up. But typically you're going to kill them or they're going to kill you before you get another cleansing pool. So that was a bit unfortunate. I got hit by a lot of poison. That's kind of why people hate this round, is because of that RNG factor. I'm going to save my ult. I'm going to focus on dealing as much damage before he spawns the second ad. So as you can see, I've already got him down to 60% this time. Let's see if I can get this before. So I just risked it kind of to run over there, get that and get that before I almost just walked into that. I did walk into that one. So I'm gonna drop my ult and try to kill him. So again, this stage is kind of rough with the RNG factor of it all. So you really want to try to pay attention to where those mushrooms are spawning. And try to dodge them, as well as you want to pay attention to when those mages get spawned, so that, because they will burst any that are currently on the map, as well as spawn new ones, and those new ones can spawn directly under your feet. So the biggest thing you want to be careful of are the canals, because they will do a fire move above their head, which I'm sure you're going to see at some point during this round, during this stage. And if you don't dash them, it will just continuously deal damage to you, and you're pretty likely to die. You can block a lot of it with like a shield, but it's one of those things where you can run out of Magicka doing that. So Canal will spawn right here. So you kind of want to focus him first. If you don't want to do that and you're confident that you're not going to die, you can focus these first and it will force the next spawn to come out. So again, I think, so with all of these different rounds, there are ways to force the next wave of ads. I haven't completely learned that yet, but there is different ways to do that. Kind of just throwing this dot on them so I can get some more resources back. I could ult him here. I probably should actually, but he's basically already dead. You kind of want to use your ult as often as possible to clear things faster. That's how you get faster, like significantly faster clears. So I'm just going to dump it right here. And when things are spawning, if you time it right, you can actually get a heavy attack off, which will give you additional damage immediately, and then it'll also give you a little bit of resources back at the start of the round. And like I said, after this, I will go ahead and show you my build. It is not necessarily a beginner build, but it's all items that are pretty easily obtainable in the game. And they're pretty popular items. One of them you will need a crafter to help you get those specific items, so you may have to pay them some in-game gold in order to do that. So this is that ability I was talking about. I believe I am using Julianos and spinners right now. Oh, so this boss, just be careful, you want to block their abilities in the beginning. This is why, because if you don't block it or dodge it, it will mess you up. And then when they drop that, they will try to pull you back in as well. So I dropped an ult there. I probably shouldn't have, if I'm being honest, just because I probably needed that to burst this boss. I'm not going to have it. So I'm going to ult them with this. This is terrible. Don't pay attention to anything I'm doing here. This is really bad. Get them to at least 50, I guess. That was really bad. So you can one-shot them after killing the stones the first time. I just, didn't have any mana, because I wasn't managing my resources properly, and so I wasn't managing my resources properly there, which is part of the reason that I couldn't kill her. And then I also, so actually I'm going to repair because this is going to be the final stage. And then I also didn't have my ultimate because I used it on that mini boss right before the final boss. So you really want to be aware of how you're using your ultimate. Specifically because you need to have your ultimate in certain circumstances in order to burst a specific target down, if that makes sense. So on this round, you want to collect these golden ghosts. And then once you have those golden ghosts, you want to make sure that you aren't around any of the sigils, but then you can synergize the ability. It'll give you a synergy option, and it will basically stun everything on the map. So if I use it right now, it's going to stun this crematorial guard, and I can just kill it. I don't need to do that because I can technically kill it without doing that. And actually that will end up saving you a little bit of time because the amount of times that you activate that synergy will decrease your overall time. So just like on the last poison round, these archers have a one-shot mechanic. So you just have to be aware of where the one-shot mechanic is happening and go and bash that target, because you can either bash them before it gets prepared, or you can dodge roll it if you're too late. Oops. I accidentally switched. Oh man. So the other thing to note here is that the blue ghosts will deal damage to you. So what happened there is I was already low and I rolled into a blue ghost. So because of that, I died. And sadly that was like near the end of the round, so I've got to do the whole round over again, which is really going to affect my time. There is like an audio cue as well for those old ghosts, so you can kind of tell where they're coming from if you're wearing headphones. Also, if you don't kill these crematorial guards fast, or fast enough, they put a dot on you that builds. So anytime they hit you with that flame, they will put a dot on you that builds up. And it can get pretty substantial. I've had that flame itself do like 200 to 300k damage in my death recap. So the one thing I haven't been doing again is using my ultimate. I'm actually going to use it here because this is a mini boss. He will chain you, so just make sure you block it. And that was easy. So something you can do with this crematorial guard is kind of go around him like that, and you're going to avoid a bunch of that fire damage over time. So this is round 4, so you gotta watch for the ads that spawn up near the edge. because they will move to the inner circle and they'll start channeling the inner circle in different... There'll be like light indicators that indicate how much has been charged. If they complete that ritual, it will summon a... I want to say a bone skeleton, but I know that's not the word for it. A bone colossus, that's what it is. It'll summon a bone colossus, which is pretty difficult to kill. You can kill it, I've done it before, but it's better just to avoid it altogether. And then this last round, there's going to be 2, and then one of those, oh wait, that's not this. So this is the last set of spawns for this, so there's going to be an Ogrim, and then there's going to be 2 more spawns here. So it's kind of like a last-ditch effort for this round to get that Bone Colossus spawn. That's the other thing, if you're too close to the Ogrim, it will belly bump you away. It's kind of funny. But that can also get you killed, so be careful of that. So it's going to start here with a Crematorial Guard, and then a, just like a regular ad. I didn't mean to hit that twice. So it'll be the Crematorial Guard and a regular ad, and then it's going to be a Titan. It's going to be an Ash Titan, so I'd recommend saving your ult for this, because you can basically burn him down before his big mechanic. If you don't burn him down, he will have a giant fire AoE that covers the whole arena, and you'll be forced to go to the edge of the arena to avoid it. And you'll probably still get stunned. It's a little difficult to avoid. It's better to just save your ult and try to burst him. So you also, even if you're not going to use the synergy, you want to pick those ghosts up because they provide additional resistances to whatever gets a hold of them. And it's also very important for this boss fight. I'm going to drop down those, put my dot on him. I'm going to heavy attack him a couple times. Magicka. I wasn't fast enough because I was on Magicka, but there's gonna be... I'm just gonna kill this. Technically, you don't have to, but so... Or they're gonna kill me. That's fine. You don't have to kill those. You could just take the ghost and bring it to one of the platforms, kill it there, and go up before the Crematorial Guard even has a chance to come in and hit you. But if you do that, so because I didn't get him down to 70% before, oh boy. That's rough. I have not struggled with this boss this much in a long time. But, so ideally you have an ultimate saved up for this boss. You have all your buffs up. And then you burst him down to 70%, and then you don't even have to worry about any of that nonsense. So, eventually a Crematorial Guard is going to spawn there, however, you can just ignore it. You can go up here and just, you'll want to start attacking these crystals. You can either block or dodge those abilities that he throws out. I favor blocking them simply because I can still cast abilities while I'm blocking. So it allows me to DPS faster. And then when you get up here, he'll do 1 the first time, and then he will follow it up by 2. And then after those, he will spawn this wall. And I'm actually gonna... So if you beat him before... If you are able to kill him before that... Make sure you're paying attention to ad spawns too. I'm just going to show you the right way to kill him. It's not necessarily the right way, but it is the safest. So you want to make sure you catch the crematorial guard in this too, just in case you don't kill him here. Just so that dies. But then you can just kill him. You drop an ult on him after you hit that synergy. This wasn't my best run. It's about 30k points lower than my best run. But let's see what we got. So we got a score of 535, total time of 52 minutes. We died 5 times. It's not too bad for my first run today, but let's see what we got in our chest. We got a Maelstrom perfected bow. So sadly it's not what we needed. I've gotten a lot of bows out of here. I've gotten like 5 since the new patch dropped. But so just a quick run over of the gear that I'm running. I'm running Valkyn Skoria heavy head, Valkyn Skoria medium shoulders, and then a light chest of Julianos, and then the rest are just light Julianos actually. And then I'm running 3 Mother Sorrow jewelry with spell damage on each piece. I forgot to say that every piece of my equipment has Magicka on it. And then I'm running a Mother Sorrow flame damage staff. A Mother Sorrow flame staff on my front bar for increased spell crit, which also has a flame damage enchant for additional damage, and then the Maelstrom perfected lightning staff on my back bar with a weapon damage and spell damage enchant. So that's really important because you want to keep cycling your abilities on your back bar to be able to proc this so you get more damage. But that's the Maelstrom run for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you are watching this on YouTube, feel free to stop by my twitch.tv account. I am trying to stream Monday through Friday around 12 p.m. Central Time to about, 1 p.m. Central Time to about 4 or 5 p.m. Central Time. Thanks so much, and please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed the content. Thank you so much.